Hi guys, I'm Rose Callaghan and I'm here to give you a little bit of an intro about myself. I'm an ADHD keynote speaker, an MC and a comedian, a triple threat as they say. I got into doing ADHD work after I was diagnosed 10 years ago. And after that, I did my first stand-up comedy show about ADHD, which was called Attention Deficit or a Pony, until I got bored of that name and then I changed it. It was a whole admin nightmare. Anyway, that's a story for another day, okay? But the really cool thing that happened after I did that show was a lot of people that came to see the show and their friends and family ended up getting diagnosed with ADHD because of the information that they learnt in the show, because they just weren't aware of it at the time. And so that was great, and that's something that I'm really proud of. In terms of I'm also an ADHD ambassador for ADHD Australia, and I am pretty well connected with all of the sort of like mental health professionals in that space around Australia, psychologists and psychiatrists and coaches and that sort of thing. I also presented at the ADHD Global Conference in 2023 and 2024. My most recent talk was about ADHD in the workplace. And with my keynote speeches, I guess what you could come to expect is sort of like a solo comedy show with a lot more research and data. And it's not funny the whole way through, but I like to share my lived experience and what I've learned. And I always will have practical tips and takeouts that are tailored to the audience. So I've done speeches to lots of different audiences. So it could be corporate leaders, high school students, teachers, medical professionals, mental health professionals, all different kinds. I always sort of rewrite it depending on who I'm going to do it to. But yeah, I think I'm a storyteller and I am natural. I'm not overly, it doesn't sound like I'm reading off a bit of paper. I'm telling it from my heart. I also, because I've been doing comedy for 12 years now, I love emceeing. I'm really good at reading a room and sort of reacting to what's happening in the moment and engaging with every different type of audience you could possibly imagine. I also am a freelance creative, so I do social media strategy and copywriting and do lots of work in ad agencies and that sort of thing. But also I've worked across lots of different industries, so people are often quite surprised that I can just pull out like really niche jokes or comments about a specific industry. They're like, wow, this comedian, because they don't know. Like, this comedian knows a lot about caravan sales. That's weird. She's so smart. I am smart, but it's like I also worked in caravan sales. That's like one of my freelance jobs that I've done. So that's just part of the magic of Rose. What else? A while ago I went viral on LinkedIn, which is nothing says Rose you're 42 like going viral on LinkedIn. I got almost 10,000 followers overnight, and I have a very lovely and engaged audience on LinkedIn. I like to basically just post silly jokes about the corporate world and that sort of thing, and yeah, people are very enthusiastic. My fans on LinkedIn, I think they enjoy that I just come in and lighten up their day a little bit. Sorry, that is a fly. I'm going to acknowledge that. It is a fly, but I'm going to keep going. So LinkedIn, I'm super famous on LinkedIn, tick. As a comedian, I'm also sort of a media commentator. People just kind of call me on to do radio spots or whatever to talk about current trends, social media trends, things in the news, that sort of thing. So I'd love to do more work in sort of presenting and doing things in the media and advertising space, because I'm very familiar with it. I was also a writer for Bruin on ABC TV about advertising. And yeah, that's me. I'm Rose, and I will see you soon, okay?